Hey guys, the question I'll be addressing today is life coaching a scam? You see this all over the internet. People talk about life coaches. It's often not in a highly regarded sense. People think that the general public looks down upon life coaches. Um, they see it as a bullshit job, like you're just giving advice about life and what you don't have a life. Like how can you be a life coach if you don't have a life? Or it's a scam. Like who would hire a life coach? Like you need someone to tell you what to do. If you've even just grazed into the life coaching world, you've heard all of this. And why do people think this? Most people who are saying this have never worked with a life coach or aren't the type of people who would work with life coaches. Generally, it takes someone who's really ambitious and goal oriented to work with a life coach, and that's not the general population. That's a very small amount of people. For those people who are into personal development, who are into goals and self improvement, a life coach makes a lot of sense. That supports you in achieving your goals. But it takes a special kind of person to work with a life coach. And yeah, like 99% of people, it's not for them, but that 1%, that's who it's for. And those people, that's all you need to care about. Your fans, the people who will, you care about the people who actually would benefit from working with a life coach, not the rest of the people who it doesn't even matter what they say about it. So it's not a scam. What you're doing is trying to help people achieve their goals, and people need facilitation and support in achieving their goals. That's why they hire life coaches. Another big reason, though, that people think life coaches are scam artists is because the poor copywriting that tends to be on life coaching websites. If you look at a lot of life coaching websites, and I've looked at hundreds and hundreds, you'll notice that a lot of language that life coaches use is repetitive and vague and not really concrete. They'll talk about like they'll talk about the benefits of their offering, like they're a life coach who will help you heal, and there's like no context behind it. There's not really a really concrete benefit and offering that they're talking about. They're not really telling you. They're not really getting in your head and connecting with the customer and the person that's browsing the site. They're just kind of saying, I life coach, I help people achieve their goals. I help with this empowerment, like this and that. But often, good copywriting is hard to come by, and most of us don't know how to do it, especially if we're starting a business and from nothing. But the core principle of copywriting is get inside your customer's head, and the way to do that is you got to know your customer really well, and that starts with having a really specific customer that you can talk to. So if you have a really specific customer in mind, copywriting becomes so much easier. If you're trying to talk to the general public about life coaching, your life coaching site is going to be really vague, and people are going to think people are going to think you're bullshit because you're just talking really generally to everyone about life coaching, when you shouldn't be trying to convince and talk to everyone about it. You're trying to talk to that one customer who will benefit and who probably already is convinced of the values of life coaching to some degree, but wants to hear more about their challenges and more empathy with what they're going through. If you go throughout history, if you go back to Plato and ancient Greek philosophy, to some degree, those you can consider like Plato and Socrates as sort of life coaches, but in a different context. And we've needed that throughout the entire history is people who help you facilitate introspection and goal setting and living a better life, living your best life. That's existed throughout time, and now the term life coach is new, but what they're offering is no different and is just as necessary as it was 2,500 years ago. But even back then, it was only a select few people that Socrates and Plato were talking to. It wasn't the general public. So if you're the type of person who really wants to achieve their goals, is really ambitious, then life coaching could be for you. You don't have to listen to what everyone else says about life coaching. At the same time, though, if you are a life coach, make sure you get really, really concrete and no BS and specific about what you're communicating, because you don't want to fall under that stereotype that says life coaching, they're vague and they're BS. There's a couple links that I'm going to share that'll help you get really specific on your niche and your offering, and to really refine an offer that stands out.